Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to start this PLC meeting today with you. But before we begin, I want to ask if anyone has any shout outs. And if you're not sure what a shout out is simply just someone telling us something positive that's going on in their life. It doesn't have to be school related, but just to start things out positive. So, as an example, I'll say that we're super excited about walking across the stage at SFA August the 11th to be completed with my master's program. Or I could say, I'm excited that, in July I'm going to become a Nana. So those are a few examples. Does anyone have any shout outs they'd like to share? Okay, that's good. Congratulations. Great. Okay. Yep, good job. All right, we're going to move on now because, as you know, today is Professional Development Day. And to start off, we're going to watch this little clip.
Teachers and staff, please report to your team meetings.
In education, common planning makes achievement possible.
Today we are going to be talking about our motto, our mission, our vision, and our values, also known MMVV.
Don't we have enough acronyms?
Enough. Acronyms are so useful. They help us remember programs and codes.
But what's the point when there's so many?
ILA. I love acronyms. I bet I can name more acronyms than anyone here.
Oh!
It's game time, sister.
PE.
ELL. TELPAS. LEP.
GT.
SPED. ART. TEAKS. IEP. SE. CIEP. TEA. RTI. PTA.
JCC.
TAX.
IRP.
SBDM. LPAC. CIRC.
TR.
DIRC. STAR.
STAR.
STARM. TAC.
LIST.
DOS. ILT.
AD.
You get the picture. So I know that you can all relate to that. It is quite funny. But we're going to add another one to that list, and that is PLC. As you heard me call earlier, this is a PLC meeting, Professional Learning Community. And what that means is we professionals are learning while collaborating as a community. That's it. That's all. We're working together. What does this look like? Here are a few options. So, creating lesson plans. It could be all of you coming together, sitting down, and showing each other ideas, what you're working on for a lesson plan, and just collaborating so you can have the best ideas to work with. Another one is disaggregating data, and that right there is looking at district benchmark scores, short cycle assessments, STAR data from the previous years, any type of data, and then seeing where our strong points are, but also looking at our weak points and coming up with ways to make students stronger in that area. So, for example, if you've got Tracy over here who has a 63 in context clues, 6.2b, and you've got Martha over here who has 84%, then we want to know what Martha's doing so everybody can get their scores in the 80s or above. So it's just working together humbly and just talking about those things. It's also sharing ideas and activities, as I mentioned earlier. If you've got a great strategy that works with students, maybe it's a cube where you write questions on each side. If you're working on plot, one might say, who is the antagonist in this story? And then they pass the cube around or something like that. It could be learning about technology applications, which means it could be applications that could be used for you in helping you organize or make some type of assignment you have easier on yourself as well as your students. But it could also be something that you apply within the classroom that would help students be more successful. And then presenting successful strategies. That could just be something like if you have your student reading 2 texts and they need a way to organize their thoughts. You could have them create that T-chart on the side where they can put the yes or no or the check marks when they have to answer questions about both of those texts at the same time. So it's just strategies, things like that. These are just some of the options, but it's all together. And that's the important part. But before we do that, though, this part is even more important right now. We have to establish norms, which are basically expectations that we all adhere to while we're meeting together. Some examples would be on time, listen with a caring heart and an open mind. Those are just a couple of examples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about a minute to work with the people at your table. There's chart paper there, and I want you to use the marker at your table, and I want you to write down the top 5 norms you think are important for any type of PLC, any kind of meeting, really. Okay? So I'm going to set a timer. When you finish writing those top 5, I want you to go take that chart paper and post it on the wall. And then we're all going to discuss the different norms written down, and we will create our true norms from those 5, because I want you to all feel like I want you to know, not feel like, but know that you have helped contribute to what we consider the norms for our meetings. So I'm going to start the timer, and you use that marker at the table. You may begin. I would be walking around listening to the different tables right now. Okay, you have about 30 seconds left. You're down to 10 seconds. Go ahead and get those put on the wall. All right, time is up. Okay, with the copies of the slides that you had at your table when you got here, I want you to look where it says create a list of 5 norms for PLC sessions. I have this blank piece of chart paper right here, and if you don't mind, Jill, would you come up and write our actual norms that we choose? There's a marker right there. So when we come up with these 5 that we're putting on this new paper, that's your spot for you to also write down those 5 so you know them and have them written somewhere as well. I will share this PowerPoint with you later, so you can click on any link if you would like, and you would have this information. Okay. All right. So let's look at this list. I see everyone has on here be on time, end on time. So we could put that as number 1. And these aren't in any particular order. All right. Respect of different viewpoints. I think that's a great one. So we can go ahead and add that on as number 2. Okay. Participation. Okay. So I think that's great. Put that on there. Now I noticed that on a few of these, people have listed no cell phones, and a couple have said yes to cell phones. So why don't we come up with a compromise real quick on that? What if we just said you may check your phone at the beginning, right before I come in and close the door to start the meetings, and then after that they're put up. If there is an emergency, whoever's trying to contact you would contact the school office and they would come and get you. So I think we can do without cell phones during this time. So we'll just put no cell phones, because when I close the door, they'll be put away. Okay. Bring materials. What if we just put be prepared? I think that's a great and simple one right there. Okay, and then everybody has listen, so let's write listen down. Okay, it looks like we have a great set of norms here. Go ahead and write those down if you haven't already on your copy of the slides. Okay. Are there any questions about PLCs? No questions. Okay, then we're going to move on